So in this video, Whoopi Goldberg claims that she went to a bakery in Staten Island and they refused to serve her cupcakes, I think, because her political views or something like that. So she said she left the bakery with no cupcakes, and they were coming at her a certain way and not giving her her cupcakes. And apparently, those claims was not true. She went on The View, her show or whatever she's on, and she claimed that this bakery did not give her the cupcakes in front of millions of people, and it wasn't true. I don't know why she lied. So we're going to see in this video what's going on. Let's go.
The place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
No. Let me explain. They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah.
And I know how hard my family has worked to keep this business alive. My bakers come in 2 or 3 in the morning just to have donuts and rolls for everybody to come in and say, we have the best rolls ever. This is what makes Holtermanns. It's the community.
So if you haven't heard the story by now, Whoopi Goldberg, as you can see there, learning the hard way that going after a Staten Island institution can be a recipe for controversy. Thousands of customers lined up outside Holtermanns Bakery to show their support after the View co-host accused that bakery of political discrimination. Community leaders calling on her to apologize. But
You don't mess with New York people. I'm from Jersey. You don't mess with New York people. After that claim, thousands of people lined up in support, knowing dang well that bakery is probably the nicest place to get food at. Wow. I don't know, man.
But instead, here's the update. She appears to double down in this new video.
There seems to be a lot of talk about the dessert I requested for my birthday show. I never mentioned the name of the bakery or the location. It does seem a little odd that when we called a few weeks before my birthday and we were told they couldn't process the order for my birthday because of an equipment failure, and somehow they were able to accept an order of a different 48 of the same dessert when somebody else called without using my name. But it's all okay, y'all, because I enjoyed my delicious dessert and I had a happy, sweet birthday.
Looks like cleanup on aisle 6 to me. Joining us now is Staten Island Borough President Vito Vasella. Thank you very much for being here. We saw you at that news conference. I mean, you lit the crowd up. You have people lining up outside the bakery because they feel bad for what's happened to this institution, the Staten Island institution. Welcome to you. Did that clear anything up, that video with Whoopi Goldberg there?
No, not at all. In my opinion, first of all, the story here is this Holtermann, the family is wonderful. They're the salt of the earth. They've had a business for 146 years.
Oh my God.
Not many people can say that. They have an impeccable reputation. People love them and their business. And then this woman went on national television and basically misrepresented what happened. And to have a platform like that and disparage, potentially, arguably defame a business that has no recourse in the court of public opinion.
I didn't mean to stop him, but that literally could have went left. Instead of 1,000 people supporting them, it could have been 1,000 people there to bash their bakery and try to, you know what I'm saying, set fire at their place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how many people watches. It could have been millions. That's how many people watch The View. It could have been millions outside that bakery slamming them about what's going on. But nah, they got 1,000 supporters. That's how you know they don't got that going on. You know what I'm saying?
And they were devastated. And what we said, we were going to stand up for those businesses, and we're not going to take the abuse. She may have had the bully pulpit, but she came across as a bully, if you ask me. And the family, not being used to this, said, what do we do? So the Staten Island community stood up and stood strong and stood up for the Holtermann family, the Holtermann bakery. And I commend the Holtermanns for just having the grace to take the high road. And the Staten Island community stepping out, waiting online hour after hour to say we support Holtermanns. But it could have been any small business. It could have been anybody who was attacked on the national airwaves for something they didn't do.
As a reporter, I step back from the story and I say, well, could have something happened there that maybe we didn't see? Maybe there was somebody. This is just me just asking you, based on the facts that you have at hand, could there have been somebody behind the register who didn't like the idea that this was for Whoopi Goldberg and said, not today?
So the facts are the boiler that they had in place that they need to make the cakes was about 60 or 70 years old. They were planning on replacing it. They didn't know how long it would take to replace. So Jill Holtermann actually did the right thing by telling the woman, we can't commit to it. We would hate for you to have a birthday party and the boiler would still be down.
Sense.
So, go someplace else. And then the boiler was fixed, probably in less time than they anticipated. And then people could buy cakes again. She was not the only one that was declined.
So they send somebody else in there
after the fact.
After it was fixed.
Correct.
And so she connects the dots and says, oh, they'll serve them without my name attached to it, but they wouldn't serve me.
Yeah, and she wouldn't, the old expression, she wouldn't accept the truth. And somehow it was this, perhaps a degree of self-absorption that everybody thinks of politics every day. We just heard Jill. Her and her workers are at work sometimes 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to prepare every day. You think she really cares about politics? Her customer base or across the board, she wants to do well in business. My main concern was that this woman took to the national airwaves and sought to destroy a company.
She didn't say the name of the company, and I'm not defending her in any way, but she didn't say it then. In her, clarification on Instagram there, that video, she also didn't say the name of the company, and she reminded people she didn't say this. So the question now is there a case of defamation as the legal? In the proper legal format. I'll put this up on the screen. This is Jonathan Turley's take. He says why defamation suit against Whoopi Goldberg could be piece of cake. The implied accusation against the bakery could fit into a per se category of impugning business or professional integrity. Goldberg's statement was clearly meant to impugn the reputation and professional standing
she didn't say the
of
names.
the bakery.
I don't know how that works.
It can be argued as defamatory per se by implication, says Jonathan Turley.
Got to respect that opinion, and I don't think if it went before a jury that people would think differently. Although she did not mention the name, in a matter of minutes or hours, it was deduced that the company itself was Holtermanns. And again, I get back to, it was a misrepresentation of what happened. And rather than give the benefit of the doubt to the business owner, she goes on national television. And by the way, the first calls that the family got were not nice calls. They were borderline threatening calls.
Wow.
And it was at that point we stepped up and said, we're not going to take this. We're not going to let this poor family suffer at the abuse of somebody who's going to seek to disparage, potentially defame. And you never know. If they didn't have a good reputation, that business could be destroyed.
Absolutely.
How is that good in this country? And it happened to be Holtermanns. It happened to be on Staten Island. We happened to be there to support them. But this could have been any business, small business around the country.
And they happen to make a dynamite Charlotte Russe dessert. So I've heard. Okay, so just to move this story forward, have you talked to the family? Do they have plans to file a lawsuit?
I have spoken with the family, but not about litigation. That'd be totally, that's in their court.
And how's business? People lining up at first.
As I say, I got to commend the people of Staten Island, but we got calls from around the country. The Holtermanns did, around the world. People from Europe have been weighing in, people from the Philippines, all over to say, because they see this for what it is. They see this as an abuse by somebody on somebody who's just trying to go out and make a business. And if the Holtermanns didn't have an impeccable reputation for this 146 years, who knows where this would be, but the people know who they are and they step forward. So business, fortunately, has been booming. So any attempt to abuse them has backfired tremendously.
If there's one thing I know about the Staten Island community, it's that you all are tight and you have each other's backs.
So Staten Island, we have about 500,000 people. We have a small town feel, and we're there for each other. It's a solidarity like no other around the country, and maybe we should send a message out, don't mess with Staten Island.
There you go, from the borough president. Thank you very much for joining us. Good to have you on the program. John, it sparked a lot of conversation about what happened there, and it does appear that she sort of doubled down in that video. It could have just been I'm sorry if I incorrectly drew the conclusion, but it seems she said something just was odd.
Why in this day and age of social media would you ever fall on your sword and say, you know what, I got it wrong, I'm really sorry. I will, every birthday from now until the day I die, I will make sure that I put in my order for the Charlotte Russe cake from the fabulous Holtermanns Bakery. No, you got to keep up the fight because that's the way it is these days. Nobody ever admits that they were wrong. But I think that to speak to Mr. Facella's a view. I think the strongest statement, I mean, you can talk about litigation, but I think the strongest statement that could possibly be made is the statement that came from the Staten Island community and the way that they gathered together to support that age-old business.
And lined up around the block. Amen.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much.
And may
for
they
joining
continue to be lined up around the block.
There y'all have it, man. So they told Whoopi Goldberg about, you know what I'm saying? They told her that it was gonna take a little while because the machine, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they didn't come off aggressive unless she did. She didn't want to hear it. She said what she said on The View about it was about her politics, about the views. I mean, they had people wearing MAGA hats in there. I'm pretty sure there's people that's not Republican. There are Democrats in there. They don't care about that. They just want to sell their stuff. They've been up for business for 100+ years. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't pull that politics shit in there, man. Like, that's pissed me off. It pissed me off so bad, man. People saying cancel The View. I don't know if it should be canceled, but I don't watch it, so yeah, she needs to apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she need to apologize and back. She need to go back. No, f that live stream. You need to go back on The View, apologize, say you were wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean you buy from there again. You don't have to, but just admit that you were wrong. And I'm sorry. I was heated. I wasn't in a good mood. It had nothing to do with the shop. But she didn't, and I don't really know a lot about Whoopi Goldberg nowadays, but the fuck is going on over there? But yeah, make sure y'all subscribe, like, and comment on the video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section about all this, y'all. I love y'all. Peace and love, baby. And we out.